What a crazy journey this has been. Back in 2019, we got the original trailer for the first Sonic movie, and it was...
meow?
interesting. The internet hated everything about Sonic's design. I mean, look at it. Now that's a Sonic man. And after loads and loads of backlash, Sonic had a great redesign by the amazing artist Tyson Hesse, and since then has made a better than expected first movie, a second movie that had more characters and made Knuckles into a household name again, and now we finally have the long awaited and anticipated third movie starring Shadow the Hedgehog. And what can I say other than, dude? It was amazing! A fantastic third installment of a movie franchise that did not have the best start. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to try to keep it as brief as I can. The first thing I want to do is talk about the positives of the movie, which there are a lot of. Number one, humans? Basically non-existent. They really sideline the humans in this movie, which is great because while I enjoy them, I am one of the very few that actually kind of likes the wedding section of the second movie. It's good and necessary to push them to the side for this movie, which has so much to cover in just Shadow's story alone. This time around, you really get the sense that Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are an actual team and are really getting along. They banter with each other and stand up to one another, and Tails isn't constantly saying, "Only Sonic the Hedgehog would," followed with whatever Sonic just did. Bro is doing tricks on it in that movie. In a way, I know why he was saying all that stuff, and it was cute with Tails meeting his idol and all that, but it did get pretty annoying after a while. I thought the acting and writing was generally better as well. I think the trailer made it seem like the jokes were going to be a lot more annoying than they actually were. The
Konnichiwa
comes to mind. Tails still doesn't do a lot in this movie, but that's fine with me. That's kind of what a sidekick is in my mind. Someone who helps but doesn't steal the spotlight. Someone who almost does steal the spotlight though is Knuckles. He is just as funny and charming as he was in the second movie. Every time he's on screen, I have the biggest smile on my face. And Sonic was good too. I know some people find him annoying with the jokes, especially in the first two movies, which I can agree with, but I also think that's how Sonic should be. He should be a little bit annoying. That's his character after all. But here, he wasn't so bad, other than, of course,
Konnichiwa.
I just think that sometimes his delivery is a little weird and the animations don't always go as far as I would want them to go in certain dialogue that they have. I only ever really noticed the weird lack of animation on Sonic because he is the main focus, but it happens far less than it did in the first two movies. Here, all the Sonic characters look amazing. Sometimes a little too good, actually. Some shots are really close up to the characters and you can see the little veins on their eyes, which I don't know about you guys, but I just find that weird. It kind of freaks me out. I don't want to see that. But oh my god, no one looks as good as Shadow does, and I will talk about him. He will have a section all for himself. Just wait. A part of the really good animation was the action, and the action was incredible. Every fight was so much fun to watch. The choreography was great, the directing was great, and we barely had to worry about any humans, so they were really able to just go all out in this one. A lot of it is spectacle, which people may not like, but personally, I'm not coming to a Sonic game, comic, movie, what have you, for legit action. I'm here for the spectacle. I'm here to see animals fight each other in the most over-the-top action. Anthropomorphic animals, you know, I don't want to see Ozzy throw down. In fact, I don't want him anywhere near the fight. Now, there are definitely things I do have problems with in this movie that I think we should discuss. Lots are minor issues I won't talk about, but there are two major aspects of the movie I did not like. The first problem I have with the movie is the pacing. I felt like there wasn't enough time in the movie to really expand on a lot of the Shadow story, and maybe if they had just had a longer runtime, maybe they would have not had this issue, or maybe they could have cut down on certain moments of the movie, which leans into my second biggest problem. Funny enough, Eggman. He went from being my favorite part of the first movie to my least favorite part of the third. Not that I hated his performance or anything, but I think there was just a little bit too much Eggman in this movie since Jim Carrey is playing both Ivo and Gerald Robotnik, and he gets a lot of screen time. They really lean into the silliness of Jim Carrey playing two roles, and in a way, I did like that. But I would have liked to see Gerald be a little bit more serious of a character while still having some fun. Eggman himself though, he has a lot to do in the story and has a lot of character development that I wasn't expecting, but I was hoping for. So it was really nice to see my wishes fulfilled for character development for Eggman. In regards to Eggman, I think the movie did a great job at growing him as a character, but I just wish we spent less time with him and more time with the actual star of the movie, that being Shadow the Hedgehog. This is where I have the most praise and the most negatives to talk about. Don't worry, most of the negatives are admittedly nitpicks, and I won't hold them against the actual movie. There are just certain things they changed about the lore when adapting Shadow's story into a movie, which I wish they didn't change, but after some time, I have pretty much just come around to them. The biggest change has to be Shadow's actual origin. Without spoiling it, Shadow's origin has been shifted in a direction that at first kinda upset me, but now I'm kinda fine with it. It allows for a more seamless explanation of certain future events in his story without them being as abrupt and out of nowhere like they were in the games. I also wish that we had gotten to see more of Maria in this movie. We do get some nice moments and dialogue with her, but I personally would have liked to see them just talk a little bit more and flesh out their relationship. Maybe if we trimmed on some of the Eggman screen time or had a longer runtime, we could have had that, but it is what it is. Now for the positives. Shadow fucking rocked, dude. Keanu Reeves, while sometimes falling a little flat in his lines, in my opinion, is a great Shadow. He has the voice for a character who has so much darkness and power, but also has so much sadness and pain. Don't expect him to be a one-to-one copy of his video game counterpart, just like how Sonic is different from his. This Shadow has some differences that make him unique and really work with the context of everything going on in the movie. I love this version of the character, and I think that they did an amazing job at bringing him to the big screen for general audiences and longtime fans like myself. He was edgy, but not too edgy. He even had like one or two funny lines. One actually made me laugh out loud a bit, and I keep referencing to myself. Overall, this movie is genuinely great, and you should, need to see it. It's not a perfect movie, and it wasn't trying to be. It's clearly made for kids to enjoy and has some flaws, but the experience as a whole is probably the best any of us could have hoped for. I definitely want to go out and see it again because the last 30 minutes are the best parts of the movie, and I need to see that again. This is my first review of a movie ever, so if you like this, please leave a like, and if you really like this, maybe subscribe. You can do whatever you like, but I would really appreciate that. Anyway, until next time, guys, I'll see you later.